My name is Handro,
I'm
and this is
Jose.
Latin Money.
Hey, so welcome to our channel. We're actually just starting our channel, Latin Money, and we're actually going to be talking about, well, crypto, stocks, financing, anything that has to do with investing. We're big investors. And one of the things that we love to recently invest in is VV NFTs. Handro, let me ask you, what's your strategy when it comes down to investing in NFTs?
Um, well, okay, so lately, I haven't been able to get any drops. So what I've been doing is once it drops, I think it's like 30 minutes after usually they're up in the marketplace. And so then I'll go on there and see if I can get it for like a cheaper price because I know that it's going to start going up, like a couple
Yeah.
days after that, at least for the next week after that. Um, but for the most part, I've been holding them long term. I flipped probably the first couple, but after that, I've just kept, trying to get the first appearances, um, and trying to get something that I think is going to be worth something in the future.
I'm a little different on the strategy though. I guess if I like something, I will kind of FOMO into it within like at least 2-3 hours after. I at least
Hmm.
wait that if there's something I really like. But usually I wait like about a week or two. But again, not always, because again, I've seen how it happens like when like certain ones come out, like I know when the golden moments came out. I barely joined at VV at that time. I joined VV around November, the end of November. So obviously I've
Yep.
been doing trading on VV for about 2 months. But yeah, I noticed the price has just kept going up, and at least on
Oh
the big
yeah.
ones like R2D2, partner statue,
Hmm.
and also Elsa and the Sorcerer's Hat. So those at least have like we're going up in price. So obviously it's not always a thing where you can wait like 2 weeks because you just don't know if the price is going to come down, especially if
Yeah.
it's something that's ultra rare or secret rare that people are going to want. So
Oh
that is
yeah.
something that I'm the same way as you. I think about it the same way. Like I either want to get into it, or I either want to wait a little bit to see, the prices go down a little bit. When it comes down to VV NFTs, I love them. I think that, I'm pretty much all in on VV NFTs. I'm not going to be looking elsewhere when it comes down to investing. I think that, personally myself, why wouldn't I want to buy, NFTs that are licensed by a certain brand like Disney and DC and Universal and Coca-Cola and all these other brands that are just coming out, and we still don't even know. I mean, I think people are
Oh yeah.
still, sometimes we look at it like myself, we look at VV NFTs and we're like always trying to get the next best thing, and
Yeah.
like myself personally, I'm stacking up on the golden moments as much as I can. And I've gotten like 6 of them, and it's cool. I just keep stacking up. But then it's like sometimes I feel like I'm in a rush to stack up because I'm thinking, oh, people are gonna come in and flood the market. Well, I've been stacking up for the last month and a half, and there have been prices been pretty stagnated.
And we're
Yeah.
still in the early days of this too. I think it was like the beginning of last year or something that they really started like coming out. And I didn't get into it until like the beginning of November. I
Mm.
heard about it in October a little bit, and then I started actually getting into it in November. And yeah, I don't. I feel like by the end of this year is when it'll really start to, um, get out there, and a lot more people will be invested in them because there's still a lot. There's still a mass adoption that we need for these to really take off, and they haven't really taken off, and they're already going crazy with the price.
Mass adoption, I definitely agree. I last time I heard, we had a little bit over a million, users on the VV. I do follow some of their like, the Facebook pages and stuff like that on VV. So I do see a lot of people always trying to cash out, which is again perfectly fine. I mean, if you really don't like VV because you can't cash out your gems $2, and that's fine. I mean, like I said, I don't. I guess more NFTs for the rest of us in that way because again, they're branded. I'd rather be on there than OpenSea myself, and I'm the same way. Like I think that by the end of the year, we are going to get about 10 million or so, or even more. I mean, you just don't know. They didn't think they were going to get a million by the end of the first year, and like
Yeah.
they weren't even thinking that. So I think they're underestimating it for sure. The app is going to continue, getting better. I mean, it's going to continue getting a lot, all the issues fixed and everything like that. I think it just comes down with patience.
Oh
And
yeah.
people just it just depends if you have patience for the long term. I mean, I'm for the long term, regardless if VV starts listing and it's available in the open market, I honestly am not going to be selling. I'm probably going to be holding them for at least 5 years
Yeah, at
and not really
least.
yeah, at least 5 years and not looking to sell. At least my golden moments for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I kind of like the fact that they haven't been able to convert the gems into USD yet, because then it allows me to continue to save,
Yeah,
not only
exactly.
like, and then also like save them, like whatever money I put in there, well, it's in there. So you got to do something with it. But yeah, so I mean, they're gonna figure that out soon. Well, at least I'm hoping soon at
Yeah.
some point. But either way, I'm cool with it, because I'm in it for the long term. So
And what's your strategy when it comes down to investing on VV?
um let me think. Well, I only have a few right now,
Yeah,
so I'm not my strategy really just involves again getting first appearances, first editions.
yeah.
I really like the golden moments. I haven't gotten one yet, but I'm working on it.
Mhm.
Um, the one that I really want to get into right now is the Steamboat Willie.
Oh,
Both the common one is at like a little under 800 I saw,
yeah,
and then the uncommon one is like a little under a grand. So I'm like,
yeah.
dude, those are both uh great entry points. So,
They
you know,
really are. I think they're pretty cheap at the moment. I mean, I got the uncommon just because I seen it under 1,000 as well. I seen it early like $900. So I was like, I'm gonna get that. Um, so I just own one of that one, and I wanted to get into it because if you look at the date when that Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie came out, it was in 1928. So I guess I'm looking, for the future. I'm thinking the long term. 2028 will actually be 100 years of anniversary for that. So I'm like, interesting. Okay, so
yeah.
100-year anniversary for anything is always huge. So I think just even collecting those, regardless if you want to stack those, I mean that's going to be huge.
Oh
You know,
yeah, especially with Disney.
when it comes down to collecting anything, I'm actually stacking the golden moments, and I'm looking to stack like Pizza Truck and Wally. And I think stacking
Okay.
those or any of the golden moments is always really nice for leverage. I mean, they're going to continue to increase, and the more collectibles get in the app, I think it's going to be able to one. I think one of the things we had to realize now is that we need a little bit of leverage because you don't know what's coming. You really don't.
Yeah.
I'm one of the things is I will say for the month of February, I'm probably not going to invest anything probably on VV. The reason I say that though is because again, this is just my opinion and me speculating. But I know what is it, February 27th is Pokemon days, right? Is that correct?
That's
'Cause I know you
Pokemon.
got your yeah, because you got your Pikachu in the back. So so Pokemon days is February 27th. And I think that that's gonna be if Vivi was to release Pokemon, why wouldn't they release it on February 27th, you know?
Yeah. Dang, now you're getting me super excited.
Yeah, and no, and that's the thing. That's the thing that came to my head, and I'm like, interesting. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like hold off on investing because again, I could just be buying them every week, and then, but when February 27th comes, I'm gonna end up with no money. I'm either gonna have to
Yeah.
flip them or something. So I was
Yeah.
thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna hold it off and see what happens with investing into the platform to see what comes out in the month of February for sure.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I let me think. What else? There's a lot going on with this Doctor Doom. I'm like, dude, I kind of want to get in on that
Yeah,
with the
well, go
with the
ahead.
mi- no, it's okay with the mighties. Like
Yeah,
honestly, at first I was like, I mean, they're cool looking, but how much is it really going to be worth compared to like, the actual Spider-Man or the actual Captain America and all that?
yeah,
Well, now, they keep coming out with them, and honestly, like I can see that going somewhere. Like, again with the metaverse coming out, I
yeah.
feel like, maybe these are going to be worth something because they have first appearances,
Mm.
as well. So,
Yeah, exactly.
especially with the ones that just came out this past week, again, it says first appearance, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what is this going to mean? Is this going to mean something in the future or like what? So, I've been looking into those, and again, that Doctor Doom looks kind of sweet, and the what was that, the Spider Ghost or Ghost Spider or something like
Yeah, yeah.
that?
Ghost Spider.
I wonder what that's about. I've never
I,
seen that before.
yeah, I heard Ghost Spider. If I'm correct, I think I heard that there was going to be a movie coming out. or that they had announced an actress for that movie, if I'm correct.
Okay.
I don't want to like, don't quote me on that one, but I wanted to go back to Dr. Doom, and he's a villain. So I think he's one of the first villains as a collectible,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know? So I think that's huge. I mean, that like, you know, again, if I wasn't collecting my golden moments, I would definitely be collecting like 100 of those Dooms or, you know, something like that. And I feel like
Oh yeah.
it's all about building leverage. And that's what, you know, that's personally what I'm doing is I think it's because, you know, you just can't have them all. Like literally, unless you're like a big whale and just millionaire and just, you know, being able to buy a bunch of them in every drop and everything like that, or getting every drop. I mean, you just really can't get them all. And I think
Yep.
you just have to strategize and you have to be able to pick a lane. You have to be able to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get into these. I'm going to get into these. And you know what?
And
Are getting,
kind of find out when you
yeah,
want to get into it. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Well, and that's the thing. I think it's having the gems available. Sometimes, like when you, because I noticed, like once you have the gems available, say you have like $1,200 or $1,500 just sitting there, and just calmly like check it in there like once in a while, and then you're like, oh, okay, because that's what happened when I seen Wally and Pizza Truck. I got them pretty cheap, but because I seen they were at 1,500, then went back to 1,200, I got a Wally, and then I was like, okay, and I was doing the same thing with Pizza Truck. I mean, they sometimes they do, sometimes they just go in, and I noticed that sometimes they list like two numbers, like say Pizza Truck goes to 1,900, but I noticed if like somebody else lists it, somebody would try to undercut that in order to sell it. And that's
Okay.
kind of how I'm looking at the market. Because as an investor myself into crypto, into stocks, I look at like, these BB collectibles. I look at this as an investor and an investor's point of view,
Oh
I
yeah.
see people like, okay, he's listing it for two or three that are listing for $1,900. I'm pretty sure if I wait a little longer, somebody's going to list it for 1,800. And that's what
Yeah.
happens.
And
And
you got
say,
to go and snatch that.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
sometimes I see like, somebody would list two for 1,800. I'm like, okay, then I wait again, you know, but I still have all the gems available, ready for any drop, for anything, not ready for any drop, I mean, but ready for any, anything to buy.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's what I do, especially when I'm actually looking to hunt out something. And I don't know about you. I personally have knots, which is really bad. I know a lot of collectors are doing it, but they're going
Mm.
after mints. They're going after
Oh
specific
yeah.
numbers and repetitive numbers. I'm not. The only reason I say I haven't is because I've been able to build, a good foundation with these collectibles, with the golden moments, and having a lot of those, well, a couple of those, I wouldn't have had those if I would have been hunting mints because they tend to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. No,
And don't
for
get me
sure.
wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think mints will matter, but I think also like when more people, like say 10 million people are in the app, like for
What
example,
you still have is gonna go up anyway.
yeah, regardless what
Yeah.
you do have is still going to go up. I mean, yeah, you might be a little bit, somebody might pay a little bit more for something else, but I mean, regardless, I think we're all going to be profitable
Oh
depending on
yeah.
what you get into for sure. And that's
Oh
why
yeah.
I think it's like, again, not financial advice. And with none of this is financial advice, but I believe in my opinion is if you get into brands that are well known, brands that, people love, that, you're going to be able to, profit for sure in the future.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and I was actually looking just recently too on the Pili Fantasies. I think that's what it's called. The ones that just recently came out. I think they also had some dragons that earlier, and and then they had the stamps for the
Okay.
tiny stamps.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yep.
Yeah, so again, it just makes me think: is VV preparing to launch into Asia and into the Asian community? And again,
Yeah.
it's like if they do that, I think that's going to be massive. I mean, once you get more people into it, and they're big collectors as well. I mean, once you get, and that's probably why they're launching into these Asian, NFTs, and I think that's great. I mean, again, if you and the thing is, when people come into the app, I always hear people complaining that they missed a drop, or they complaining that everything's so expensive. And like like for myself, I didn't get a partner statue, but it's not stopping me from getting into the golden moments. The
Yeah.
rest of them. And even if I can't get like R2D2, for example, I'm still getting Pizza Truck Wally. I'm still trying to get Simpsons. I'm still trying to get something in the lower end because they're still going to be valuable. They're still first appearances.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think that people tend to forget that. I mean, they tend to overlook, like you were saying, the Marvel Mighties are like off FAs. I mean, even if you can't, like, if you just have like $1,000, like just get into some of those or stack up on one of them that you find the Ghost Spidey that you said. I mean, you find that one or Doctor Doom. I think Doctor Doom's a little bit more expensive, but I know Ghost Spidey was in the hundreds.
Yeah.
And if you say okay, you know what, I'm gonna get that one and just start, FOMO into that one and just buying like 10 of those, I think that would give you leverage because once that one goes up in value, you'll be able to, sell it off and you'll be able to, you know,
Profit
and
from it.
yeah, profit from it.
Yeah.
And I think when people are building their sets, hey, you're gonna be able to be like, okay, I got you. Let me sell you this one. Let me sell you that one.
Yeah. And I just thought about it. It's kind of like with cards. Like
Yeah.
if you have Charizard, you can all have like the same year and all that,
Mhm.
I guess the good thing about the NFTs is that obviously it can't get damaged. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
so maybe in the future, or near future, but it seems like, um, yeah, them minting it or not minting, getting, what is it? Getting a mint or something like that.
Oh, you mean like the mint numbers? Yeah. Yeah.
Mint numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like those mint numbers will mean something because it's
Oh, yeah.
almost as if, almost as if they could still be worth like a little bit more than what you have like based on your number, So I guess that would be kind of the process of it getting damaged or something, aka like this is number whatever, number one versus this is number, 10,000.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. And I think it's kind of like if you go back to the Bored Apes, I mean, if you look at the Bored Ape Yacht Club or the CryptoPunks, I mean, those are the two biggest ones on OpenSea,
mhm,
two of the biggest projects. And every one of those apes, for example, on those, they look different, and they have different like mint numbers. And again, they look different, and that's why they're selling for different prices. So if you get a number that's closer to the thousands or, closer up there, then obviously you're going to pay a lot more money. Same
yeah,
thing, I think will go with NFTs on VV, even though you might say, okay, this person owns like, for example, I'm going to go back to the pizza truck, 6,333. Okay, your pizza truck looks like my pizza truck, but the mint numbers are different.
mhm,
And I think it will matter in that aspect. But again, I feel like you're still going to go like 20x from here. Again,
yeah,
this is just my opinion. I mean, I think that mass adoption is going to happen on VV. I think VV is just so profitable, especially when you have a huge brand like Disney. I think Disney wouldn't license, their first ever NFTs with the brand or with the company like Vivi if they knew they weren't going to be profitable. I think that's just a no brainer for them. I mean, Disney likes proper making profit. I think Disney likes to be able to be marketable and be able to create something, and they're doing it low key. They haven't been advertising it. I follow the Disney pages as well to see if they're mentioning anything. They haven't mentioned anything about Vivi, anything about NFTs. The only thing I did hear about NFTs that they were getting into their metaverse and everything like that. But again, but a lot of companies are doing that now, and it's becoming a regular thing where a
yeah.
lot of companies are like, oh yeah, we're creating into the metaverse, we're creating this and that. But to mention that they have a whole lineup of NFTs that are available, imagine if they just started putting up the golden moments everywhere. Or I mean, people would just rush into them and just like
Yeah, and that also poses the question like, what if they start renting out
yeah.
NFTs? So like once you're in the metaverse and like let's say you're a kid, he's playing the game and his skin, he wants it to be, Captain America or something. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna rent mine out for like, I don't know, I have like five of them, so I'll rent each one out for like the day at a
Yeah.
certain price or for just this game or whatever it is, So then it poses that question like maybe we can make some money off of this too.
Yeah,
But
I
not
remember.
only
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say not only making money off of it, with hopefully it'll go up, but also making money off of just owning it and renting it out. So yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. I had heard about that, Vivi, renting out NFTs through Vivi, and I think that would be awesome, especially for those that don't, for those of us that don't want to sell. Like that, that's the reason like some of us are stacking up because we don't want to sell, right? And but also because of the same thing that you said. I mean, like just renting them out. I mean,
Oh
like
yeah.
for example, I noticed that like the hoverboards. I don't know if you noticed the hoverboards on Vivi. They have a couple, 5 or 6 hoverboards, right? And I'm really thinking like, wow, what if people like started collecting, and that's all they collected, it was hoverboards. And in the Vivi, on the Vivi verse, they started like, just having a hoverboard store. It sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
A virtual hoverboard store, and just started like, hey, you want this? Yeah, I'll rent it out for you. Just rents come out left and
Okay.
right. And I'm like, interesting that things like that can happen. And it's things like that that are like, that's why I believe that NFTs have so much utility. apart from like, and I think it just depends. Like the Marvel Mighties, how we were saying earlier, like they might be used in video games, and I think that their characters are a little like they're small. They look like they would be used in video games. So
Mhm.
again, people could rent them out in video games,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, I think they would be really popular. I think they will be. And like I said, I myself am not collecting into the Marvel Mighties and even the Golden Moments. I think those, like I can just imagine those are Disney's first NFTs and they're in gold, right? So what if, as an investor, I'm thinking, what if like partner statue in the future was, Disney was like, you know what, you own the partner statue. You got to remember Disney has stock. So what if Disney issued like 1,000 shares for partner statue holders and maybe like 100 or shares for each other, holder for any other golden moment. And
Yeah.
like, or maybe the rare, the uncommon, the common had different, amounts of Disney stock. And I
Yeah.
think that would be a huge utility for Disney. I mean, just be able to hand out stock and just you'll be able to get, just by literally holding them, you'll be able to get dividend from their stock. And I think that would be a huge thing.
Oh
Again,
yeah.
that would only and again, you got to remember each, like the Wally has, whatever how many mints the Wally has, how many parts of statue has. I mean, eventually you're gonna have a cap, then you're not gonna have any for sale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. People are just gonna want to get in on them and buy them and hold them,
And just hodl
and
them. I
then
mean, they're just if you can make money off of these and just continue to make money and just use them, rent them out. I mean, it's making money for you, And
yeah.
this is like again, I think we live in a moment in time, and like this is history. I mean, I don't say just because of NFTs. Like when you think back up to crypto, we have a selection of things that we can invest in right now.
Yeah.
Before, I feel like it was just about real estate. You were getting into real estate and you wanted to get into real estate, but you had to get money to get a loan in order to flip a house or something like that, right? And then if you wanted to get into the long-term strategy that a lot of people did with stocks, again, you're buying into stocks and you're going into stocks like if you maybe early on Amazon or Facebook or Netflix. So
And
again,
you're getting a financial advisor to do that, and
yeah,
then you're also
paying
reading
them.
the reading the newspaper or whatever, and you can't do it yourself.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
now you can do it yourself. So
And even a couple of years, I want to say like maybe 2014. I mean, that's when the app started, when Robinhood and other companies started like I mean, Robinhood wasn't the first one, but it was the first one to offer free commission. So the rest of them just shifted to free commission. And again, offering free commission on stocks and now offering, crypto where you're able to do and trade crypto and altcoins. And now, getting into the NFTs as well. Even though NFTs been around for a little bit, it's same as crypto. I think now it just gives you a little bit more opportunity to, widen your investments. I mean, you're not just doing stocks. You're not just
yeah.
doing real estate. You're doing, a little bit of everything. And I think that gives you huge leverage in the world. Just, I mean, just be able to invest. And that's what I'm personally doing on myself. I mean, I'm again going into the Bitcoin, going into Ethereum. I mean, I don't FOMO into the altcoins as much. I got a little Shiba, but that was it. And obviously, I'm mostly going into those two.
Hmm.
I do obviously with VV, I do want to get into the OMI token. I think that's, I'm going to go into that one a little bit because I mean, if
Yeah,
we
I
believe
want
in
to
VV, I
also.
think it's backed up by that. So I think we should definitely. I'm pretty probably going to get into the OMI token a little bit,
Mhm.
but yeah, again, I think we have so much opportunity in front of us. VV has been around just a little bit over a year, so if you really think about it, there's still a lot of FAs out
Mhm.
there. And there's a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
FAs that are still within reach. I mean, they're still just a couple $100s. And when you think about that, like within, say, you fast forward like 2 years from now, I feel like none of those FAs that are available right now will be available in 2 years. That's just my opinion.
Under a hundred or in the
Under
$100. Yeah.
or even under 1,000. I mean, even under
Yeah.
like 5,000, I think none of them will be available at that price. Obviously, if VB continues to be profitable, and
Hmm.
maybe I'm due a little bit too short, maybe 3 years or something like that, just because you don't know how many new characters are going to come in throughout the years anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is if you think long term. I mean, there's only going to be a certain amount of FAs. So you already seen the DC girls. I mean, they're already on series 2 for those. Yeah, series 2 does look better than series 1, but I think that like nothing takes away FAs.
Hmm.
And it is like you were saying about Pokemon cards, like Dragon Ball Z, Charizard, for example.
Yeah.
Having the Charizard and having that the original, having the series 1, having an FA, that's gonna matter. That's gonna matter in the future. That's really gonna matter. And again, it's people are gonna go into them. I think I think it's where we have a huge opportunity. You know what's really one that I have that a lot of people have not been paying a lot of attention to? I think is the zombies. You know, you don't really hear about the zombies, and I think it's because nobody really cares about the zombies at the moment, right? But you have your first set of the Spider-Man zombie, and then you also have your first set of Captain America zombie, which both of those are FAs, and they're both of the like the zombie and the Spider-Man and the Captain America are both ultra rare, and the
Mhm.
other ones are common. So that's really nice to be able to have, and they're basically trading under $1,000. I think Captain America is even less than that
Yeah. No,
because
he
I got
is. He's
Captain
pretty
America.
cheap.
Yeah, I got it around $500, ended up dropping a little over under 300, and I'm like, wow, like an FA ultra rare, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure.
And again, people don't really like think about what's the significance of those. But I mean, in the future, like I think about like what happens if like you know, because I mean, the what if like series on Disney Plus, you know, if you ever think about those, some of those have Disney, you know, zombies of like Iron Man and other characters, right? So what
Mhm.
if they were to just continue releasing those and people
Yeah.
start getting into, oh, let me get the zombie ones, you know, let me get the zombie. And again, that's going to raise up the price. And also, what if they start building, you know, in the BB-verse, what if you end up having a virtual haunted house? You're going to want
Yeah.
to have those zombies for your haunted house. And maybe you do have a haunted house that you can rent them out.
Yeah.
You can make money off of your zombies because you're renting them out for people, you know?
Yeah. That would be crazy. That would be dope.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, wow, you know, like things like that can happen. And I think that people are just, again, I think we are either sleeping on it, or a little bit of us are also waiting on for the next big thing. But I mean, a lot of things are right now that are huge. A lot of big things are right now that are happening. And we have the opportunity to continue investing. And that's what I'm doing. Again, the
Yeah.
only reason I do contradict myself a little bit in saying that, because I am waiting to see if Pokemon happens, you know, in end of
Yeah.
February. But that's only for me to have a little bit of capital, also pay off my credit cards, and just be able to have that, you know, liquidity available
Yeah.
just in case, you know. I think if you look at the end of January, I mean, you had the Marvel Mighties, right? The Spider-Man collection, and then you had your Mickey and Friends, and those were two huge ones. And I didn't get into either one of those again because I was collecting the golden ones, but I'm like, interesting. Imagine what the end February can bring. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I think, you know, I think also being Black History Month, maybe if they were to bring Black Panther, or, you know, something like
Yeah.
that, you know, something like that, that would be like, I think that would be huge. And I think that would be, you know, that would be like the first African American NFT of the Marvel, you know? So
Oh
I
yeah.
think that would even be like something to buy and to hold for sure.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I hope that, February brings something nice, something cool,
Yeah. One thing before I forget is I did want to say that I got into the Robinhood wallets. I remember I told you about that one.
Yeah,
So
lucky.
yeah, you know, it's because I was 10,000 on the list. You know, I was going a little bit away from the VV part, but honestly, just the Robinhood wallets are not that bad. The only thing is, you can only send around 3,000, like, well, Bitcoin, you know, 3,000 every day within 24 hours, which is kind of sucks because I can't send everything. So
Yeah.
every day I'm just sending around 3,000 Bitcoin into BlockFi, where I'm actually
Dang.
gaining, you know, interest on
And
my
just to think,
crypto.
about those people who have a couple Bitcoin,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
must
I
take
know.
forever.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah.
taking me a week,
Wow.
and I'm still like, nah, I'm barely halfway.
Dang.
So yeah, so and it's nice though, because at the same time I'll be able to gain interest, and I got approved for the credit card too. So I'm gonna be using the credit card, trying to well, once I get the credit card and see how it really works. I don't know. I might end up buying VV NFTs off the credit card and just be able to, like, you know, get a lot of cash back in crypto and Bitcoin, obviously. So I think VV is going to be huge, and I think VV is just has a lot of future utility that we still don't know. So which ones are your favorite future collectibles that were on VV for the future?
I mean, once Pokemon comes out, definitely Pokemon. I love Pokemon. Um, but honestly, like I said, at least the near future,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about these Marvel Mighties.
Okay.
At least, because I don't have a ton to spend.
Yeah.
Um, so I think I want to jump into those a little bit for um, you know, I'm also looking at I like Batman and the Joker. I really want to get in more in with those because I got Robin and it's like the black and white version, So
Yeah, yeah,
um,
definitely.
yeah, I think those are underestimated a little bit as well. It was the Jim Lee Joker
Yeah.
that's like it's a few $100, and I'm like, oh, dude, like I gotta get that one. I love the Joker. He's like one of my favorite villains. So
Yeah, and then like with Batgirl coming out, you can also get Batgirl, and
yeah, oh
add
yeah,
and that's the thing. I mean, if you're looking to get into the Batman series, just adding those collectibles is going to give you a flex in the future because you'll be able to have a certain collection of those.
yeah.
You'll be able to build your brand around Batman. And I know there's huge fanatics on Batman. And it's recently I was funny because I was watching the Neymar Netflix, right? And Neymar had a huge poster of Batman and Joker.
Okay,
So, Neymar recently just bought two board apes for I think a $1.1 million, right? So
wow,
somebody like Neymar would definitely buy into those Batmans. He probably wouldn't be, and that's the thing. Big money is going to come like that in the future, I believe. And I think one celebrities really join into that, they're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for those.
and
And
it's
I
only
think
gonna make them go up.
yeah, and I think if you're owning those are going to be awesome. Like he might be able to get a Todd or Rizzo, or he might be like, you know what, let me stack up on some of these Batman because I really like them for
Yep.
these Jokers. And you if you end up holding one of them, if you end up having one that he wants or a mint number, I think something like that you got to think of like potential buyers. You got to think of like maybe potential people that may be wanting it in the future. Something that's really popular.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think when I think of like I said, I go back to my golden moments, which is the ones I really hold. And I think of like, anything, I guess we humans love anything that shines. We love anything gold.
Mhm.
So and because they're the Disney's first NFTs, I think that brings a lot of value to it. And again, if anything that's going to be like that, I think it's going to go up like crazy. I watched the video from NFT Pirates with Silicon and VV Magic. And
Okay.
it's funny because I know VV Magic was actually saying that like, it's obviously speculation, but she was even saying that each of the golden moments could one day be worth $1 million each. And I'm like, wow, and that's the thing is just all about holding them. I mean, just buying it, holding it, and seeing what happens and just holding it for the next 5 years. I mean, you just don't know.
Oh
But
yeah.
what if they were? What if they are? Be able to turn $1,000 investment into $1 million? That's huge. That's like buying
Oh yeah.
Bitcoin when it was like at 5 cents.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I think when it comes down to investments, I think that's one of the things that you got to think about it. Like you got to think everything as an investment. You got to be able to
Oh yeah.
hold it, but also as a collector. I think now I've always had like that investment mentality, but now I'm just starting to get into that collector mentality. I mean, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, interesting. People are getting into the mints. People are getting into let me stack into these and have leverage.
Yeah.
Before I wasn't thinking of that. I was just buying different golden moments, and I was like, if it comes down to me having to sell one of these in the future, I'm gonna be, I don't want to get rid of them.
You're
So
gonna be heartbroken.
yeah, I'm gonna be heartbroken, and I'm like,
Yeah. See,
oh. So
see now, like who do you like? Do you like Spider-Man, the Hulk? Like who do you get into?
you mean on the ones right now or in the future?
Well, in general, like right
Um,
now and in the future, like with me, it would be Pokemon. I'd love Pokemon. So
no,
I definitely want to get in on those. And I definitely want to like, I would be heartbroken if I got in on them and would have to
honestly,
sell them.
yeah. Honestly, for me, it would probably be the Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of Ninja Turtles, and I think if those came out, I would definitely want to get the whole collection.
Yeah.
Again with Pokemon, I'm a huge Pokemon fan too, but I think is with Pokemon, I think it's Pokemon is so favored, and like you have people like Paul Logan and like all of them buying like Pokemon cards for like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. So I'm like, if you imagine if you get a hold of Charizard or a Pokemon or a Pikachu, I mean, if you get hold, one of those and one of them wants it, they're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Pokemon. I think Ninja Turtles. I think Harry Potter would be huge too.
Oh
I
yeah.
think there's
Forgot
a
about
lot of
Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter fans, and even Star Wars. I mean, obviously, you already. The thing is, we already know that Star Wars is gonna come. The reason we
Yeah.
know that is because of the two golden golden moments. You have R2D2 and C3PO.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they won't bring out the rest of them. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of time. I mean, my guess would be on May 4th. Again, that's the same thing. I'm speculating with February 27th for
Yeah.
Pokemon, but again, it's just pure speculation. And obviously, like, believe me, I'm gonna be doing this exact same thing come May. Is I'm not gonna be buying anything like all of April, so I can stack up for May to see what happens.
Yeah. No, for
And
sure.
that's all I'm gonna be doing because I'm seeing like I'm gonna even be looking up the Ninja Turtles. If there's a Ninja Turtle day or something like that, I would definitely be doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and like honestly, I thought about it and I was thinking, man, maybe I should just, sell a couple of these so that I can take the profit and get something else like the Steamboat Willie. So I was thinking about that, but then I was like, well, honestly, like really what I should do is just take my money and just invest it. And okay, I want Steamboat Willie. Okay, let me get the money and just put it all in there like what I do with my credit cards. I pay
Yeah,
it off. I like taking the lump sum and just paying it off or in like two payments or something so
yeah,
that I'm not like kind of inching my way because if I inch my way, I'm never gonna get it. I'm gonna talk myself out of it.
no,
So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, so I'm kind of thinking like, you know what? If I want it, I'm just gonna save my next check and be like, okay, the next one, I'm just gonna throw it all on this one, so and actually get it and be happy about it, versus like, okay, well, hopefully next week I'll throw 100 and whatever. So
yeah, yeah. Having it a little bit more organized definitely does help. Um,
yeah.
just going off a little bit of topic on the buys, I was gonna say something that I just recently remembered. Vivi actually just on Twitter announced that they were gonna be for their how they always have their drops and people don't seem to get them or the bots and everything like that.
Mm,
I think that I seen a tweet where they were gonna actually change that around. I think that it favors for the ones that don't get the drops, and for people that are always getting drops, it might not favor them as much. But they were basically gonna like say that you did want to drop, right? Maybe you had the gems available. You're going like, okay, I do want it. So once you go in, I think the VV platform is just gonna choose randomly who gets the collectibles,
okay, that'd be
and
sweet.
I personally don't. I'm not mad at that. Actually, I love that because like say that again we go back to like a Pokemon or something like that coming out and something coming out and they say there's only 10,000 editions and you have 100,000 people and you get the computer, you get the VP platform just deciding who it goes to, who gets distributed it, without
Yeah,
having somebody who has a quicker internet connection or quicker, signal and, leaving out the other ones. Again, that's just me because I'm not the one getting, a lot of these drops. I haven't got any drops. So for me, I think it would
yeah.
be awesome.
Oh
I think it
yeah.
makes it a little bit more fair, for sure.
No, oh yeah, if it's like a random generator or something.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
think it would be nice.
Oh yeah, because then hopefully then you can get a couple in a row, or you just
Or
your luck
or
is
even
just not there.
yeah, exactly. Or even you probably just get one later on. Maybe you don't get this drop, but you get the next one or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, for sure. That'd be
And I
cool.
think that VV is getting better. I think they're listening because of the bots issue, because of like, people are
And they're
having issues.
coming forth and saying something about it too.
Yeah. They listen to the
So
community. They really do. And that's what I like about them. Like anything that you have a concern with, you can literally tweet them and then they'll literally I've seen people tweet and I've seen them like just go back and be like, hey, address issues, address problems, address, again, they're always updating us on the beta for like the wallets, like
yep.
letting us know, hey, it's coming and like we're still in testing on it, but it's coming, you'll be able to cash out in fiat. And I think people are again just being you gotta be patient. I do see people selling gems though on the side and be like, oh, I'll sell you some gems for 0.5 or something like that. And I haven't done it because I just haven't done it through escrow or anything like that because I guess I'm just not too trustworthy on that, even though I know that there's administrators that are actually trustworthy on escrow that do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know how much I trust that either.
I
You know.
guess it's because that what I would be a little bit old school until like a really, really know, or even anything like trading, like, transferring an NFT to somebody else. Like I would transfer one to you, knowing that I can, that I know you, that I'd be able to transfer one to you and
Yeah.
things like that. But to somebody be like, oh, hey, let me get your NFT. I'll give you this. I'll send you some gems, or I'll send you this and this. What if I send it to you and then you just don't send it back? Who am I going
Yeah.
to be claiming it to? Like it'll be difficult. That's myself. At least my thinking when it comes down to that.
Yeah. And I even get scared, trading some transferring crypto from one wallet to another wallet.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid I'm going to lose it, or I'm like, okay, hurry up, instant transfer, please, right now. So
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, I think that when it comes down to Vivi, that's probably would be my like opinion on why VV isn't trading on OpenSea, and I don't know if it will ever trade on OpenSea. To be honest, because I mean, again, OpenSea. Not to hate on OpenSea or anything like that. There's great projects on OpenSea, but there's also a lot of fraud on OpenSea.
Yeah.
I think VV doesn't want their customers being involved in a lot of that, fraud. They don't want to, because anything that you buy on VV, you're getting that collectible, you're getting that FA, that FE or whatever, you're getting a licensed NFT. And I think that's very important,
Oh yeah.
versus somewhere where you might be going something on OpenSea and it's not something that's, it's not somebody did something fake. I actually realized last time I was on OpenSea, I was actually looking up the golden moments. I was looking up Vivi, and the golden moments came up, and I was like, okay, I looked them up specifically, and people were literally selling them, and it's like literally like they recorded the NFT just going around in circles and selling it for like $200-300, and I'm like, wow, this is such a
Wow.
ripoff, because I
Yeah.
could literally record that. It's probably like a recording on the phone. And I'm like, hopefully
It's a
nobody's
scam
buying this
right
because
there.
this is a scam. And it's on it's on Vivi. I mean, it's on OpenSea. And I was like, wow, Vivi's not even on OpenSea, and this is being out there. This is being scammed for selling for $300. I mean, you had the partner
Wow.
statue for selling for around $600. So I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
And
crazy.
and again, I think that I would actually like to see if Vivi ever became like that. I would like to see Vivi on Coinbase. I think Coinbase is a little bit more secure. Coinbase likes to be more, watch their reputation a little bit better. So I think
Yeah.
Coinbase would be the perfect company to be able to, partner up with Vivi and be able to work together on that.
Oh yeah. No, and be able to have like, are you saying like NFTs in
Yeah,
that
because
wallet?
I don't know if you heard that Coinbase was actually opening up their NFT marketplace.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder, like, what if Vivi partnered up with Coinbase and actually offered their NFTs on Coinbase Marketplace?
Yeah. Oh,
Just
okay.
because Coinbase is a more secure, more noticeable, more friendly user when it comes down to crypto. So I would imagine it would be the same thing when it comes down to NFTs. The only thing is, I wouldn't want to buy them on it just because I know the crypto fees are super expensive.
Yeah.
But maybe just buying them through Vivi and maybe possibly selling them on
Transferring them.
transferring and selling them on Coinbase or something like a platform like that would be really good.
Oh, okay. I feel it.
Something like that I think it might be able to happen in the future. And again, it's just I think we're still early on, and I think we just got to be able to one buy and just hodl them and I guess the only way I would trade something would be for something better. You
Yeah.
know,
Something that's maybe
of
more that is going to be worth more in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess it would be one grail to another grail, but
Yeah.
at the same time as like crap, you lose one grail. So, but that's why I go back to stacking, because if I'm able to stack and I'm able to get one grail for another grail, I'm perfectly fine. I'm like, hey, I'm not
Yeah.
losing, especially my pizza trucks and my wallies. I'm not losing those because I'm stacking them. So
Yeah.
I think that's really important in the future for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I gotta invest some more so bad.
No, and it's crazy too. I mean, I see Bitcoin going up, I see Ethereum going up, and I'm like, dang, good thing. I mean, I've been investing in Bitcoin for 2 years. I've been investing into Ethereum as well for 2 years. I ended up selling all my Tesla onto Bitcoin, and I think that I'm in a good position for that. But I think sometimes it's like, dang, you just really wish you would have bought more of that. But at the
Oh
same
yeah.
time, it gives us the opportunity to be diverse, getting into
Oh yeah.
Bitcoin, getting into Ethereum, and now getting into these NFTs and getting into the first FAs and Disney's on Disney NFTs. That's huge, and I think that we're building we're building a wealth for sure. I mean, I think especially for our channel, like our channel is called Latin Money, right? And when it comes down to Latin money, I'm not going to say Latinos are the last to invest, because it's not, I've seen so many people investing on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and, VV NFTs that are Latinos, especially on like the Facebook and everything like that. I get so happy when I see last names and everything. But that's one of the things is like when I go back to like looking at Mexico and Latin America, besides El Salvador, nobody else is investing into Bitcoin. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have any other country like, oh yeah, we support it. You have one or two people, but they don't support it. They're not talking about it.
Yeah.
El Salvador is a country that's literally investing on it, and they're using their natural resources and from their volcanoes in order to mine Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Mexico has a lot of like volcanoes they could use. They could be using the same strategy to mine Bitcoin and also buy Bitcoin. And I think that would actually allow a lot of the poorer countries to be able to be more, more wealthier, to be able to, build, like I know El Salvador was building hospitals,
Yeah.
children's hospitals, animal hospitals, and
Off of their profits. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, off of their profits from Bitcoin. And I think that's amazing, like, and that's just the beginning. Bitcoin is still sitting in the 40s, and I think like when Bitcoin hits 100 and hits 200, and like, I mean, Bitcoin's eventually going to be trading at well past over $1 million, and again, that can
Mhm.
be within 10 years from now. But having investments and like that, and just even countries having those investments, that's huge. And Latinos, I think Latinos that invest, it's, we get our families out of that poverty, we get our
Yeah.
families, moving forward, because a lot of Latinos, we don't have rich parents. We have parents that are every single day are working hard. Us ourselves are getting into education,
Yeah.
getting into careers, and we're trying to, like me, myself, I'm still living at home, but I'm also helping my parents. I know that
Yeah.
you're as well.
Same. Yeah.
And it's one of those things that we're able to help our parents, but if we're also able to invest, we're also able
Yeah.
to,
Know how to
yeah,
work with our money.
yeah, be
Yeah.
able to invest and work with our money a little bit better. I think that's, that helps our families in the future.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because we don't really get taught how to do that,
Yeah,
especially, growing up, not having a lot of money or anything. Our parents don't really know how to save money and how to invest money.
yeah,
Luckily nowadays we have a lot more opportunity to make money, to invest money, and do
yeah,
make financial gains and stuff, make certain moves and choices that will better our future. So,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
now we just got to take advantage of that right now.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things. I mean, I think our families, well, especially my family. My family's like, I'm from Mexico myself, so being able to be born and raised in Mexico and be able to come here, and just
Oh yeah.
um, the opportunities to be able to, learn about this. Like, for example, in Mexico, I would have never been able to own Bitcoin. I would have, I mean, there is, but I would have never been able to own as much Bitcoin as I own if I was working
Yeah.
over there right now.
Oh yeah.
So anything like that, I think it's going to be, it's something that's going to help us in the future, and it's going to help our families, especially when our parents retire. If you're able to help them out and we're able to look out for them, it's game changing. I think it is for the Hispanic community, especially because like nobody talks about it. Nobody is out there really trying to help the Hispanic community.
Or
And
talking about, how to use your finances, to help better your future like that. So
yeah, and that's what I guess with Latin money, that's what we want to do. We want to be able to like reach out to everybody in general. Just give them our opinion. I mean, we're two investors, and we're two young investors that are actually into the space. I mean, we've been investing for about 2 years. Well, I've been investing for about 3 years now. So
I'm about
going,
2 years.
yeah, going into stocks and crypto, and then now in NFTs as well, and just again just building up on different ones, different platforms. I think that's.
Oh yeah, and finding what works best with you, because there's so many out there now, and honestly, like Robinhood, I mean, that's been a staple for me forever, so
Yeah.
that's why I just continue with Robinhood. I'm so sick that I don't have the wallet yet, but
Mhm.
I'm still like
Oh, it's
1.6
coming.
million, but
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Either way, I found that Robinhood is the platform that works the best with me. I also have Coinbase, for some altcoin. I kind of get into it, not really. I'm mainly into Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah. Same here.
Very very bullish on those. All the altcoins, I'm not too into them because I don't know what they're about. And
Yeah.
I don't want to invest into something that I don't know anything about, or so
Exactly. You probably don't want to FOMO into it without really knowing the projects, knowing everything that it stands for. And I'm the exact same way. I think that when it comes down to investments, I think that you definitely have to be. I understand Bitcoin because of the digital gold aspect of it. Because of the function that it does, and I understand Ethereum, everything that we're building on VeVeVerse, everything that we're building on the metaverse in general is being built on the blockchain on Ethereum. So I think that's huge, and that's why I see Ethereum as being so bullish in the future. I mean, I see Ethereum. Recently, I seen, for example, Catherine Wood was saying that Bitcoin in like 8 years, well, she said 2030, which is 8 years from now, would be at around at least $500,000, if not more. Even if she can even
Yeah.
scale up to being even over to $1 million by 2030, which is only 8 years from now, which is crazy to think about. And then she was even talking about Ethereum trading around maybe even $200,000 or close to $200,000 within, again, those same
That would
2030.
be
So
nuts.
so for you to think like, wow, like, and then
I
that's
could
not
be a
even,
millionaire. I might be a millionaire here in the
yeah,
next 10 years. Like
exactly. And in 8 years, and it's like,
eight
it's
years,
crazy.
yeah.
And it's crazy to think about it because these NFTs are the exact same way. These NFTs, again, not saying that, because on a collector's standpoint, people just want to hodl them because they really just like them. On an investor standpoint as well, like these are FAs, these are first appearances, these are first, they're licensed. And I think
Yeah.
that speaks volume of to what the NFTs can be about. There's still, I feel there's still a lot of utility that we don't understand. And I'll continue to say that because like there's a lot of stuff that you can be used for renting and just like profiting from something else, or you just don't know exactly what can happen with it. But I think just holding it, having it, and being one of the only 1,000 people that have it of something, of a character, I think
Yeah.
that's huge. And even like the comic books, like you see the real world comic books selling for like $3.4 million. I know a Spider-Man recently sold for one. And again, I mean, who says that the VV ones on VV collectibles, I mean the comic books on VV won't sell for that price, and I think they will.
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
do think they will.
They definitely have the potential to.
Yeah, I think it's just that again, it's just that people are not there yet. I mean, you don't have those big collectors, those big comic book collectors on VV. You don't have those big collectors on, VV, just because of now, like prices would be even crazier and even higher.
Yeah.
And because you don't have a lot of celebrities, I mean, all it takes, like one big celebrity just to be like, hey, I'm going on VV. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is our first video of Latin Money. And we're just
Yes.
trying to give you guys our opinion. We're trying to give you guys, everything, our opinion, our strategies for investing. I mean, when it comes down to crypto, when it comes down to stocks, VV
Yeah.
more than anything right now. This is not financial advice whatsoever. Have fun.
If you believe in it, if you think you want to do it, if you want to put up your capital for it,
Exactly.
again, none of us telling you what to do with it, but
Yeah.
just that, again, I love Pokemon, so I'm gonna invest into that. I like Harry Potter kind of, so I'll probably invest in. I love Star Wars. I'm gonna
Yeah.
invest into that. And these are solid companies that I think are gonna, skyrocket in the future. Especially 2030s. I mean, even sooner than that, but in
Yeah.
general.
And
So
they've been around for so long that I feel like they're going to be around regardless, and they're going to be making movies in the future regardless. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
they've been making them future since like movies since like way years back. So
oh yeah,
it's no brainer that they're going to continue making and Spider-Man and just knowing characters and heroes, superheroes and villains that are like worldly known. I mean, if you go into those and you get into again characters that and we actually hope to have people guests on Latin Money. We hope to have people on here to just be able to
get everyone's
discuss.
opinions. Get
Yeah,
their
different perspectives.
thoughts.
I think it's always nice. It's always, and it's informative. I mean, we'll be able to give our perspective, our opinion on certain ones, and people. I think we learn as a community, and I think the VV community is growing. So if anybody ever wants to, get on a video with us, just comment down below and let us know.
Oh
We can
yeah,
always work something out for sure.
oh yeah.
All right, you
Okay,
guys. Well,
all
thank you
right.
so much for watching. Hit that subscription button. And like I
Like,
said, like, share, subscribe, share it to your mama, your grandmamas, and everybody. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, that's it. So, all right, you guys.
deuces.